the Let's Go podcast. We are back. It's giving me an option here to go live on YouTube. I think we are live on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube watching us, welcome. Let me make a little mark here that we are doing the softball. Let's see, softball power rankings live now on YouTube. Okay. So we had a very eventful week 2 at HSL. I had a very nice week as we defeated the Bombers. QJL, BJL, Queen Jewish Link, Bukharan Jewish Link. Thank you so much for partnership in the HSL. We had a very big win. There was a couple of big games, and a lot of teams moved around in the power rankings. We will get right into it. We just came off of a fresh podcast with Mr. Alon of the Bly Vipers after they shocked the world and beat Link Home Care, and will advance to the semis to play Olam Realty. Let's get right into the power rankings. We'll start with Legacy as always. Remaining in the 1 is Cobra Rentals, the Chihuahuas. The Cobra Rental Chihuahuas had another demanding and assertive win. They took advantage of the Margaret Teets Nursing and Rehabilitation Center team, who were making their debut in the HSL. A lot of those guys are playing together for the first time. And they did what good teams do. They beat them pretty easily, 15-5 in a mercy after 5 innings. From what I understand, Margaret Teets had a rough couple of first innings, and then the game was lost from then. So Cobra Rental is now moving to 3-0 on top of the HSL Legacy League, and they are tied with Jules by DK, who is coming off of a demanding sweep of the Addictive Ads, which we'll get into in a minute. They might be the most underrated team in HSL history coming into the season, as they've really manhandled every game so far that they have played. They're led by Brian Cohn. They also may or may not have a player on their team who will be winning Player of the Week, which hopefully will be announced later today or Sunday. Malik Wade had a fantastic doubleheader, and we'll, talk more about that and reveal some of that a little bit later today, hopefully. So congrats to Jules by DK, Hungry Hippos. They are now 3-0 and second in the power rankings in their Legacy League. Now in number 3 is where we start getting a little bit tricky. We got the MS Motor Fireballs, led by Ari Gershon Brookler. Ari Slamowitz on the mound. Gershon was not there at the game. However, MS Motors had total dominance and full control over the Andy's Kitchen Grasshoppers and Joey Katz. A lot of controversy after the game, as Joey Katz and a lot of the players, Donnie Scheinman and a lot of the players in his kitchen, say the stats are very the stats are very what's the right word? The stats weren't the most truthful, so I didn't do too much research into that, but we do very much try to tell our players to keep as much honesty as we can if we want to have a real race for MVP and Cy Young, et cetera, et cetera. However, the scoreboard does not lie, and it was a pretty ugly game. MS Motors defeated Annie's Kitchen 10-4, and they go to 2-1. The only game they lost was to the number 2 in the power rankings, Brian Cohn. Annie's Kitchen Grasshoppers drops to 0-3. We will get into them shortly. Coming in at number 4, moving down 2 spots, is moving down, staying the same. Apologize, they moved down last week. Is the Rides to Fly Black Sox. They did get a win. They defeated Essen Poppers. I was there for the end of that game and became way too close at the end when it should not have. Rides to Fly has a very solid team. They lost opening week to the Chihuahuas, Cobra Rental Chihuahuas, who were number 1 in the power rankings. Rides to Fly did a big win, like I said. They will remain at number 4 only because I don't think they're better than any of the top 3 teams. I would love to see a matchup against MS Motors, and we'll see how that plays out. But for now, with MS Motors being 1-1, 2-1, Rides to Fly Black Sox being 1-1, the Rides to Fly Black Sox will stay at number 4. Coming at number 5, and our first move down in the rankings is the Essen Poppers. Essen Poppers moved down from 3 to 5. They're 0-1. They lose to the Rides to Fly Black Sox. I was there at the end of the game. From what I understand, there were a lot of errors in the beginning of the game for Essen Poppers. They played very sloppy in the field. They fell behind really big. I think they're down 9-2 at one point. They did make a very, very late run at things. In the last inning, they cut it to 3 with the tying run on deck. They ended up losing 9-6. It's Essen Poppers has some good talent who have been struggling. Word on the street has it that Zalman Pollock hit the batting cages last night with the co-commish David Gottlieb. So we'll see if that has an effect this coming week. Let me check quickly here. I think Essen Poppers has a doubleheader, if I'm not mistaken. They do. They're playing MS Motors, tough game, and then they're playing against Margaret Teats. So Essen needs to win this week, just for their, to get on the board. Um, if I was Margaret Teets actually and Rocky Bachner, I'd be very happy to be playing Essen Poppers because these guys are very fresh, are very not fresh, and they complain about the cold, and it's going to be cold. By the way, guys, it's going to be 35 degrees today, this Sunday. It's going to be sunny. But for all you complaining about March 9th, well, we are now March 30th or March 23rd, where most leagues are getting underway, and it will be very cold. So bundle up, and let's get ready to rumble here. Anyways, big game for the Essen Poppers. Big 2 games here. They need at least one. You do not want to go 0-3. Coming in at number 6 in the power rankings. They're not going to like it, but they deserve it. The Annie's Kitchen Grasshoppers. Another game, another loss. They are now 0-2. Again, they got beat up pretty bad by MS Motor Fireballs. I was not there. However, I heard it was very sloppy. I heard they didn't play well. And, for that reason, they're going to continue dropping down the power rankings now to number 6. They have a couple of big games coming up this week as well. They're going to be playing, I think they're playing Brian Cohen and Jules by DK. They are. They're playing Jules by DK, and that's their only game of the week. Yes, it is. So they are in danger. Oh, I know. They're playing a doubleheader. They're playing also against Addictive Ads. So they need to win that game against Addictive Ads. It's a must-win. And we'll get to the Addictive Ads in a second. But assuming they lose to Brian Cohen, which I was speaking to Joey Katz yesterday, doing our scoreboard and stats doing our stats, I should say, for our HSL basketball, he's confident they'll beat Jules by DK. So it's a game to look out for. He's confident they're going to win. But assuming they lose, Addictive Ads then becomes a must-win for them. You don't want to go 0-4. You go 0-4, you're in big trouble. There are multiple teams not making the playoffs in the Legacy League, so you do not want to start off 0-4. Top 6 out of 8 making the Legacy. So 2 big games coming up for Annie's Kitchen. Coming in at number 7, and we'll leave them at number 7 for now, is the Addictive Ads. They started very high. It might have been my mistake. They have been blown out every single game they have played so far. They are continuing in the Addictive Ads ways. Jake Byrne, we love the relationship that we have with Addictive Ads. They're an amazing they're an amazing company, do amazing things. Jake's an amazing person, but they've been playing far from amazing this season. They are now 0-3 after getting completely destroyed by Brian Cohen and Jules by DK twice last week. And from their point of view is they get the Annie's Kitchen Grasshoppers who have not been playing well. And if you turn the tables here a little bit, this is Addictive Ads' chance to get back into things. It's very early, only 2 games in. And they're playing an Annie's Kitchen Grasshopper team that's been really struggling, and they really need that win. So that game at 10:15 on March 23rd this Sunday. Right now it's in Chestnut. Just a disclaimer, we're most likely going to be moving the Chestnut games over to the 5 towns because Chestnut, apparently the field is not playable, especially after the rain last night. We're most likely going to be moving it to Inwood. Stay tuned for those switches. However, Annie's Kitchen is in a desperate need of win, and so are Addictive Ads. We'll see how that plays out. Coming in at number 8 is the Margaret Teets Titans. Margaret Teets Rehabilitation Center, also an amazing rehab facility in the Kew Garden Hills area, and we appreciate all that you do for HSL, and thank you for sponsoring an adult team and a kids team. Rocky Bachner and the boys had a very tough matchup. They played the best team in the league week 1, which is never easy, especially when you have a bunch of guys playing together for the first time. They played decently, but they lost badly. And this week they have a chance to get back into the winning ways. They are playing Essen Poppers. Again, if you are Rocky Bachner and Margaret Teets, this is a team that you want to be playing against. You want to play against Essen because, again, they are still very cold. They play, are still very new to the league. They only played 1 game. They haven't swung a bat for 6 months prior to the last game. So we'll see if Zalman Pollock going to the batting cages will turn the tide here. But for now, I think Margaret Teets is excited for their matchup coming up this week. So that's it for the Legacy League. I don't think it was too controversial. I don't think there's much to argue. Maybe you could argue MS Motors being up in 3, but I was very impressed by their 2 out of 3 wins. And the only loss they had was against our number 2, Jules by DK, Hungry Hippos. So that's it for Legacy. Coming in at Titan, we're going to actually keep it the same. Gordon Company's manhandled the Blue Wahoos, totally dominated them. Blue Wahoos did pick up some talent. They're missing some guys, but Gordon Companies took care of business. Coming in number 2, and this is, I guess, the only bit of a controversy, is the Bombers. My team, QJL, BJL, Queen Juicelink, Bukharin Juicelink, really beat the Bombers. We definitely didn't dominate. It was a close game. Bombers could have scored a lot more runs than they did. We did a good job getting out of a couple of big jams. Base Lord no out jam 3 times. I think we allowed 1 run total. Bombers came out to a quick lead. We came back, took the lead. We ended up scoring 4 runs and winning 8-4, and the Bombers cut it 8-5. We ended up beating them 8-5. However, due to the Bombers' history and our history, I will not be removing Bombers from number 2 for quite a while. Let's see how the season plays out. Coming at number 3 are us. Of course, we had a big win, but we're made at number 3. Number 4, the Robins, who had a bye last week, but they'll remain number 4. We'll keep Blue Wahoos, the Crown Care Blue Wahoos, at number 5. After losing Jesse Kaufman, it was their first game playing. A bunch of those guys coming off of football tournaments, a football game. So, and also definitely an underdog against Jesse Kaufman and Gordon Companies. And coming at number 6 is Town Appliance, who actually my team just beat in game 2 of the doubleheader, 3-2. Town Appliance had a massive upgrade from the week before, but I will not be moving Town Appliance from number 6 until I see them win a game or do something more than lose, I guess. They did have, like I said, a really a much more impressive game this past game. I wasn't there. My team still had a really good team, and they only lost us 3-2. So they're definitely going in the right direction. That'll do it. That's it for your power rankings. We got a very exciting, jam-packed week 3. We look forward to it, and we look forward to getting into things as we really pick up pace. We'll probably be done majority of the regular season before Pesach, believe it or not, which is pretty awesome. We are excited for that. We're excited for our basketball semifinals on Wednesday. We're excited for all of our leagues starting, our Little League, Hardball League starting this Sunday, the JCBL, powered by HSL. We also have our Youth League starting March 30th. So we're looking forward to all that. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon. Can't hear anything.